All your screens are off your kids. Your kids are there. They're, and, and walking through the whole school, that's kind of something that we're, being challenged with. Kids don't want their screens on. It's very natural for your team, though. It seems like your kids in 6th grade, they know, put your screen on. So you guys have done a very nice job with that. A really good job with that as a team and individually. I know you did too. And then also telling them being in learning form. I thought that was a nice reminder, because you're right. Some of them could be sitting in bed, but when you told them be in learning form, they're like ready to go. So I thought that was nice that you did that. I said, Mr. Lim implements Nearpod and uses timers to keep students on track as they are learning. He starts his class by having a student state the standard for learning and then gives celebrations by using an Avid celebration wheel. Oh my God, I loved it. That was so awesome. How did you make it? Or like, how did this thing come about? Oh my gosh, is it something you could share with me and I could use in the announcements? Or is it something only oh my gosh, thank you. I would love to use it. Okay. That, okay, thank you. I loved it. I was like, oh my gosh, this thing is so awesome. Mr. Lim implements a video to support learning, and throughout the video, he stops to have discourse. Mr. Lim implements engagement strategies throughout instruction to engage students. He uses countdowns and the chat as tools to keep the pacing of the lesson moving. He aligns his instruction to meet the needs of students, and he closes the lesson by aligning the learning to the tasks they will be completing. It was a full, complete lesson. You did a nice job. So let's look and see what you wrote for reinforcement. You said Zoom classroom expectations are to be always active, eyes on teacher, on mute when I ask them to read and share ideas, brainstorm. Respectful and disciplined A+ behavior, participate in class. Discussions by sharing the answers in the Zoom chat and on mute if needed, and asked to turn in Nearpod and pair deck formative assessments. Definitely, I would agree 100%. All those things were going on. So when we think about reinforcement, so I think you're doing a stellar job, first of all. So keep that in mind, please. This is just kind of to take it to that next level. So how can we possibly take it to the next level? I said, Mr. Lim implements a variety of online tools to support students, and he is intentional in the tools that he uses to support student learning, pacing the lesson to allow for checks for understanding for all students as the lesson is progressing. So I would just think about, are there some other things and I don't want you to feel like you have to put 50 new things in, maybe 1 or 2 items just to check and see where they're at. But I think you do that well already through the items that you're doing. But I think if you did it 1 or 2 more times, you would really know how they're understanding especially the PowerPoint part. So you said for the refinement, be more creative by making photo story. Is it digital flyer, podcasting, and electronic billboard for our PBEL, problem-based enhanced language learning project. Oh, that's awesome. Love it. So let's go up to the scores. So, all right. So remember, a 3 is meets. 3 means you're meeting all the things you're doing. You're doing a fantastic job. 4 and 5 is like you're going above. 1 and 2, those are areas that you're going to want to really develop. You're not going to see 1s and 2s. You did a really nice job, and you have been doing a nice job for quite a while. So I can really tell that you think about the students. You really love science, and it's obvious in your instruction, which I love because it just comes naturally to you because you're so excited about it. The kids get excited about it. So you know how that is. It's very contagious. So it's awesome. So you'll see a lot of 4s and you'll see some 5s as well. I gave you all 5s here in the learning environment. I think you just do a fantastic job. I mean, who would have thought about an Avid wheel? You did. I mean, it's so awesome. You're just always thinking of ways to incentivize the students to be engaged, but not necessarily having to give them something. You're really doing it through that motivation of wanting to do well. And I think that's great because that's not always easy to get out of kids in 6th grade. And you do it so easily. It comes naturally for you. It's pretty awesome. All right. So again, down in this area, all 4s and 3s, you're doing a fantastic job. I want you to keep it up. It's awesome. So what will happen, Mr. Lim, with this observation, because you got 3s, 4s, and 5s, you've gotten all the bonus points. So you basically have the highest score you can get. So I know you have the option of doing a second if you would like to, but you don't have to decide today. But what I'll do, let me stop sharing so I can see your face. What I'll do is after the break, I'll send you an email. And if you're like, hey, I want to decline the second, I don't want to do the second one in January, February, you can just let me know. But at this point, you've gotten all the bonus points, so it's really up to you if you want to do a second. Just remember, if you do decide to do a second, the second one is a score that will count for the whole year. Okay. So I don't want you to scare you off for doing it if you want to do it. But here's the thing. Ultimately, you're doing a great job every time I come in. This is not, your observation isn't anything different than what you do every day. Anytime I come in, you're doing the same thing. So I want you to know, I feel like it's just so natural in your classroom. And I really do want to give you kudos for getting the kids engaged. You do a great job of it. So, all right. Any questions or anything? Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And I mean, I think you do a great job of it, and it's pretty consistent in your grade level. I mean, I know Miss Devine has a lot of the kids with the cameras on too, and it just seems like the kids know the expectation and they do it. So you guys have done a nice job with that. For sure. So next thing will be, I'll send you an email after the break, and you just let me know if you want to do a second or not. And that's really it. Now, here's the thing: if you want to access the document we were just looking at for any reason, just log into your TAP account. If you're unable to download it for some reason and you need help with it, just send me an email and I can send it to you. I'll just download it as a PDF and email it to you. The thing I found with it is if you need to print it, you have to change the page size because for some reason it prints on multiple pages. So just keep that in mind when you go to save it or print it. Yeah. All right. Keep up the great